Good afternoon, Mark Sutt with HurricaneTrack.com here with your Hurricane and Hurricane HD video blog for September 6, 2012. A look at the very busy tropics this afternoon. You would expect it to look like this the first week of September in an active season. We have Invest Area 90L in the Gulf of Mexico, very large Hurricane Leslie, small but intense Hurricane Michael, and then more areas of possible development down the road emerging from the coast of Africa. Looking at the wide visible shot of the basin, here is Invest Area 90L. We'll take a close look at all of these features. You notice that certainly the size of Michael didn't matter. It was able to really ramp up and actually become quite a bit stronger than Leslie, and this made it to Category 3, our first major hurricane of the season. Leslie here struggling a bit, and we'll talk about why as we examine these features one at a time. You can clearly see that there's not a lot of deep convection over from the satellite picture here of Leslie. We're not seeing a round, deep area of oranges, and certainly just one small little area of red in here. Leslie is what I call convectively challenged. It has used up a lot of the warm water that's underneath itself. And if we look at the sea surface temperature anomalies map for today, Leslie sitting right in this area. And while water temps out here in the Atlantic, the subtropics, are above normal and considerably so, Leslie sitting over the same spot is burning off that heat content rather efficiently, and so it's upwelling and churning up colder water. The heat kind of dissipated from the Atlantic where it is, and so it's self-destructing. And this will prevent it from strengthening at all until it starts moving. Right now it's still just crawling at 1 or 2 miles per hour. On the other hand, if we look at Hurricane Michael, even though it's got limited deep convection, it's more organized and more round in appearance, sitting around a very well-developed eye, and that central dense overcast, this round look to the system, allows it to be more efficient with the way that it processes what heat content that it's working with. Michael, too, is also moving faster than Leslie, so it's moving over warmer water all the time and not churning up the water underneath itself. Looking at the situation in the Gulf with Invest Area 90L, and real quick, why do they call it 90L? I've talked about this a few times. Basically, the Hurricane Center gives areas of suspect weather a number, 90 through 99, and the letter L for Atlantic. L for Atlantic, and that allows them to dedicate more resources to investigating the system, satellite resources, aircraft reconnaissance, computer model resources, you name it. And so instead of just saying a blob of clouds here or this blob of clouds there, they have a numbering system, 90 through 99, to help designate these in their first stages of what might happen with a tropical cyclone. So I don't know who came up with it or why the numbers are 90 through 99. They don't just go from 1 to 100 or something, but that is the way it is. So 90L, we've used up 90 through 99 already this year. So we're back to 90 again, and they keep recycling them. Sitting here in the Gulf, the low pressure area is kind of elongated in here. Not very well organized. I don't see this doing much. You never know, since it is over the Gulf in September. You don't want to ignore something like this. I think the most likely scenario is that it'll develop a little bit and turn around heading this way, bringing some squally weather to Florida, maybe over the weekend. I don't think that it'll get very strong. It could become a tropical storm, and if it does, its name will be Nadine. But I don't think it'll be very strong and not much of a problem. But we'll watch it. That's what we do, right? Looking at Leslie, I was supposed to be headed to Bermuda right now, but I pulled the plug on those plans because the model guidance, there's Bermuda right there, is showing Leslie passing far enough east of Bermuda that they may not even get tropical storm force winds there, and if they do, it's going to be on this west side of the circulation here, not the same as if Leslie was sitting over here with a south wind in that right front quadrant area. As it turns out, the pattern is a little bit more progressive, moving along and kicking Leslie out a little bit sooner, therefore it won't gain any more longitude, it looks like, maybe just a little bit. In other words, it won't come any further west than it already is, meaning that Bermuda should turn out very well. Here it is at 96 hours a broader view of the GFS model. There's Bermuda right there. Leslie way up here to the northeast by close to 200 miles at this point, easily. And if it turns any sooner than that and just rides right up 60 degrees north, Bermuda is back at 64.8 or so. And so that's pretty far. I mean, we're talking more than 200 miles away, so things are looking a lot better for Bermuda. And as we go out in time here to day 5 and day 6, it's even possibly looking a lot better here for the Maritimes and Atlantic Canada, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia certainly, but the pattern progressive enough, things moving right along. Like I mentioned in my blog today, that a broom sweeping things across a room is one way to look at it, that everything just kind of gets going in a progressive pattern, not allowing any of these systems to move west very much. They just kind of move north and then get caught in the steering flow up here, and then out they go into the North Atlantic, not bothering any land directly. Remember, Leslie will continue to produce large ocean swells that can be a problem for people who are not used to that. Take that seriously. It's not just okay, another public service announcement about ocean swells. They can be deadly if you're not careful. You have to respect the power that these tropical cyclones can put into the ocean. At day 7 here, we see Leslie missing pretty much everything. It comes up east of Bermuda and then turns on out. Hopefully this will be the case, and we can draw a big old smiley face in here that everybody gets away with not having to deal with direct impacts from Leslie. This is another feature that is sitting over the coast of Africa today. It marches right along in a position to say, okay, what's going to happen with that? And we'll worry about that down the road. But it just shows you that September is indeed a busy month, normally, and I think this month will be no exception. So there's a look at the tropics for today, the 6th of September. I am Mark Sudduth, my website, hurricanetrack.com, and I'm always glad to provide these videos for Hurricane and Hurricane HD, some of the finest hurricane tracking apps that you will find. You already know that because you own it. Have a good rest of your Thursday. I'll see you again tomorrow.